Ode to a Lost Explorer. This is a fictional travel blog through the procedurally generated universe of No Man's Sky. All content within this audiobook is copyright 2016-2018 Andreas Constantine. All related No Man's Sky logos and or information included in this novelization are owned by Hello Games. Welcome, interlopers, to the fictitious podcast novelization through the procedurally generated universe of No Man's Sky. Chapter 12, Waltzing Pirates. A literary rendition of Navigator Captain Kalo's log, entry 2.16. Kalo had no idea how many pirates he'd be facing. Initially he saw one ship, but suspected more were hidden behind the trail formation heading his way. Obviously he was expecting more than 2 pirates, but it was only 2 he got. He didn't complain. Bless the Atlas. Nevertheless, he smelled foul play. The waltz began in earnest. At the very last moment, the pirate ships quickly moved to a 2-ship line abreast formation, then switched again to a wedge, encircling Kalo. As long as Kalo stayed wedged, he was trapped. If he remained trapped in their sphere of death, he would eventually lose all momentum in the fight and fail. Photon cannon blasts lit up the darkness, his shields depleting, but holding, barely. He quickly discovered these 2 pirates were good, surprisingly good. Compared to the other pirates the Viking took out, these 2 knew how to fly. Knowing the freighter had been left defenseless, the pirates risked their best pilots with fighter number 7. The Vikings turned out to be the wild card in their ill-fated plot. Desperate to make a move, Kalo sensed an opportunity in the distance, catching glints of polished blotches scattered in one area of space, an asteroid field. He would have to try and break free, which was simply impossible in the predicament he was in now. Restricted in choice, he would have to slowly fly circles and keep them occupied, as he was already doing, firing short phase beam blasts in the hope of eventually leading them into the mayhem of the asteroid field. Round and round they went, and into the asteroid field they bent. No longer able to sustain their wedge, the pirate ships broke off formation. Now they were flying free, if you can call flying and fighting amongst 1,000 spinning rocks, hell-bent on smashing your ship, free. A flashing warning light alerted Kalo to incoming dump fire rockets. Looking left out of his canopy, he saw 3 rockets on a direct collision course. He broke right, ending the engagement, and dove straight into a tightly assembled cluster of rocks. Passing through them, he heard 2 explosions, followed by a 3rd explosion that knocked out fighter number 7's life support. Now, he only had his exosuit. Time was against him. Unable to determine what other damage fighter number 7 had sustained, Kalo pulled together all the pilot skills he had mustered over his lifetime. Spinning, twisting, and with clever looping at just the right moment, he managed to get behind one of the 2 pirate ships and fire his own salvo of rockets, taking out one of the 2 pirates. Unfortunately, the other pirate ship, seeing a window of opportunity, had also slipped behind Kalo. He fired, slicing part of his wingtip before Kalo could pull up. But pull up he did. If only to avoid the incoming pirate ship's debris from ahead. The 2nd pirate, however, never saw it. Blinded by rage, he kept firing his beam blast as he desperately tried to slice lucky number 7 in half. He never saw the wreckage, till it was too late. Kalo spent the next few hours on a giant piece of peppered rock in the asteroid field that had saved him. Making repairs to life support, the ship's cut-off wingtip would have to wait until he either returned to the freighter or found a space station that offered repairs. Landing on a planet was out of the question without aerodynamic support of the missing wingtip. He decided to make repairs at a space station, but changed his mind when the scanner picked up a faint signal. It was the freighter. On arrival, Kalo was greeted by a flotilla of floating debris, but no freighter. His initial dread was the freighter had been destroyed. He cursed and wept, but on closer inspection, He saw it was only the wreckage of the pirate ships. But how? The freighter could not have done this. Its turrets had been devastated. Suspecting something unanticipated had occurred, he searched for clues until he stumbled upon the beacon. But no answers. The beacon belonged to the freighter, and if Arya was the one who had ejected the beacon, the encryption codes they shared would successfully decipher the message. The codes worked. She had left behind the coordinates to another star system. They had escaped, but something else, more dangerous than pirates, had intervened. Fearing the worst, Kalo started to punch in the coordinates just as a shadow crossed his canopy. A bulky hauler had appeared out of nowhere and stopped, nose to nose with Kalo's fighter number 7. Looking across into the hauler's canopy, he thought he saw a ghost looking back. Are you a No Man's Sky fan, player, enthusiast, or just a fan of space fiction? Well, please enjoy this audiobook now, subscribe to the channel, or visit the actual novelization written by Andreas Constantine at odetoalostexplorer.wordpress.com. Until the next time, keep exploring, interlopers.